Hey guys, it's Catfish here again. Welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to start a new video series called Worst Case Scenarios. And in this first episode of Worst Case Scenarios, we're going to put no armor on, no weapon. We're going to go into a basic level 2 map game with nothing, as you can see here, loadout value 0. And we're going to see how much money we can make and whether we can even survive going into a Metro game with completely no equipment. Is it even possible? So yeah, we're gonna do the second map, which is called Old Blockade Zone, which is, the second map, basic mode, so no radiation, and we're gonna give it a best shot. And just the game is pretty funny. It tells me you have no weapon equipped. Do you want to continue? And if you choose to continue, you have to hit battle, and then it puts you in a match. I was actually just about to enter the game when all of a sudden some fans messaged me and told me they want to tag along and play with me on some Metro games. So here they are. We have the pleasure of playing with Zen, the C900 YT, as well as Arcane. So these three are fans from my YouTube. They've commented on several of my YouTube videos. They expressed interest in wanting to play with me, and here they are. So thanks guys for tagging along and joining me on this worst case scenario adventure and trying to see how much money we can make out of it alive. So right now what's happening in the game is I'm telling C9, Zen, and Arcane, my fellow fans, that what I'm going to be doing, and I tell them that we're going to be going into Metro Royale with nothing. We're going to go in completely equipment-less. And we're going to try to see whether it is even possible to come out of it alive and whether it's possible to even make money. All right, so it appears we've loaded into the game and I am being robbed at gunpoint. But all jokes aside, something that's very interesting about Metro mode is that even if you start off with nothing, you're still provided one of two weapons, either the revolver or the P1911 quick tap pistol. So out of these two weapons, obviously the better one is the P1911 because you're able to tap very quickly, and then the faster you tap, the faster the gun will fire. Whereas with this revolver, as you can see here, no matter how fast you tap, you're stuck with this kind of clumsy, hard to use weapon platform that isn't very handy. Like the reload is slow, it doesn't particularly kill fast, and the only reason I was able to kill this bot with 3 shots is because all of those 3 shots hit the head. Luckily, the first weapon I pick up from a bot is a Thompson, so I'm going to be trying to use this Thompson for the rest of the game unless if I manage to pick up something slightly better. As of right now, my other squad mates are doing exactly the same thing. We know, all of us know that it's impossible, or at least it's very unlikely to make it out of this game with completely no armor and just a pistol. So the first thing and the most important thing is, if you're ever stuck in this situation, and I have no idea why you'd be stuck in this situation unless if you're trying to challenge yourself, or whether there's some really bad glitch that just happened to remove all your equipment when you load in. The first and foremost most important thing is that you have to kill a bot and grab their weapons. So bots in this game, they do drop weapons. Sometimes they drop armor, and sometimes they drop backpacks, ammunition, equipment of all kinds and sorts. So we're trying to kill bots to try to get some basic loot. So as of right now, my squad mates are doing just that. We're killing bots to see whether we can pick up an assault rifle or a submachine gun, so we're better equipped to handle Metro mode. As of right now, I hear a bot shoot from behind me, and so I immediately turn around to see whether my teammates need help, but it seems like they got it. They got it handled, so there's nothing to worry about. I'm particularly interested in getting to school as soon as possible because there's a lot of bots in school in which we can get weapons from. Now, importantly, if we are able to kill the boss at school before the enemy team gets there, we might actually be able to get a purple weapon out of that boss fight. And actually a bit of a how should I put this? A bit of a secret, actually. This is not the first game. This is actually the second game I'm playing with these exact fans. So what actually ended up happening was we played one game before this, but that game somehow it didn't record properly. So I ended up losing that recording. So this is actually the second game, our second attempt to see if we can make it out of here alive. So the first game, we actually rushed school right away, and we actually managed to kill the boss with no vest on, and nothing except Thompsons and scars, just really horrible weapons, repaired weapons. And we actually managed to kill the boss by using teamwork and just by dodging the boss's M249. And we actually managed to get a purple M249 and a purple UMP out of that. Unfortunately, an enemy engaged us in the subway as we're trying to make our escape, and we all got wiped out. So this is our second attempt. We're gonna try to see if we can get any more loot. Now we know there's enemies at school, and so since we're so under equipped right now, the best idea is for us to go underground into the garage, because as of this point, the enemies are more focused on killing the boss for the loot, so they're not going to be as focused as in this area as, for example, focus on school. Right now, we got a try-hard bot here who tries to knock people, so I take him out swiftly. And what I'm doing right now, and what the other members of the squad are also doing right now, is just opening every box we can see, trying to pick up anything we can. Because again, we came into this game mode with nothing, right? So no medicine, no armor, no bullets. And in fact, that's another thing about this game mode. Bullets are very, very scarce. So when you're playing this game mode and you enter with nothing, it is very important to not spray as much, to fire in bursts, or even better, to single tap quickly so that you don't waste as much bullets. So right now, what's happening? What's happening right now is that me and my squad are doing a kind of a miniature 2-2 split as we're passing through the subway tunnel. 2 people will hug the right side wall, and 2 people will hug the left side wall. So that way, if there's enemies camping in the darkness, we'd be able to best protect ourselves while engaging the enemy team with the highest amount of success. I used to ride these carts, but unfortunately, after a few bad experiences, I realized that these bots provide very little protection, and they're actually not. I personally don't like them. They're not that fast. They're kind of glitchy, and I don't know. I just prefer running because that means everyone can shoot. Right now, we're passing through the garage, and we're currently just opening everything we can. I instruct my squad to stick close together because, we're not that well equipped. We're not wearing level 6 vests. So it's very good that we have to remain close by, and we're going to go through each room together, one by one, each room separately as a squad. So my squad mates are, they follow that, they follow me. And so that's pretty much what's going to be happening. So we're going through each room one by one, taking out the bots, looting the bots, and trying to see what kind of weapons we can get from it. So right now, you can see this bot comes with a scar repaired. So I just dropped the shotgun, because why would I use a shotgun in Metro, right? I dropped the shotgun and I pick up a scar. Right now, I'm passing through more rooms, knowing that my team is right behind me, and we're gonna go through. I'm just opening boxes because we're trying to get out of this mode with as much money as possible. And since I know that these people can, they can handle the bots, I shouldn't have to worry about that too much. I make a huge mistake right here. Just about 5 seconds ago, I made a huge mistake. Can anyone tell me what that mistake is? So if you want, I'll give you 5 seconds to try to guess that mistake.
Which means we can't get caught under here.
Okay, so yeah, that was about 5 seconds. So the mistake I made was I picked up a signal generator worth around $15,000 from that box, and I should have put that in my lockbox right away. Even though that's not the most expensive object, for example, not comparable to like the $48,000 detector, or for example, a $200,000 gold bar, or a $100,000 card key, but still, it's a good habit to have to always put expensive loot that's worth at least more than $10,000 and way less than 10 units into your lockbox, because remember, your lockbox can hold up to 40 weights of item, 40 units of items. So especially if you have items that are light and expensive, like tech parts, you definitely want to put them inside your lockbox, because that is all profit you can make out of the out of Metro, even if you die. Right now, we've just come across a real enemy squad. So I didn't get to see what kind of armor they had, but I instruct my team that engaging them head on is too dangerous because we don't know if they're going to be using fire ammo, toxic ammo, exploding ammo. We don't know if they have pink weapons, level 6 armor. So I instruct my team that the best thing for us to do is to back off and see if we can get a flanking shot. So we do that. I just about turned the corner when all of a sudden, Arcane, our number 4, suddenly gets knocked in 2 shots. And he's telling me right now that the enemy are using toxic bullets. That is very alarming because that means if they're using pink ammunition, that they're very well equipped, much more so than we are. So we should definitely not peek them. We should definitely not rush them because doing so will only result in us getting knocked and them being able to rush us. So instead of peeking my head out, I use the third-person perspective mode to try to peer around the corner to see where the enemy is. Now, I see them rushing back into the tunnels, so I instruct my team, whenever you guys are ready, we should try to set up an ambush so that in a best case scenario, we can catch them off guard, kill them, thirst them, and then take their, I'm assuming pink weapons, best case scenario, right? They have pink weapons, pink bullets, and who knows, maybe at least a level 4 vest, best case scenario. I don't think they're wearing level 6 vests because they didn't look that bulky to me, but who knows? I love to be surprised. And I'd love to be proven wrong. So with some carefully placed positions here, we got number 3 and number 2 camping the other side of the wall, and me and my level 1 helmet camping on this side of the wall. And so actually what ends up happening is that we wait here for about 2 to 3 minutes and they just never show up. And, none of us are the camper type. So, with nothing happening, we just decided to, back up and try to return home. So here we are, we're leaving the subway tunnels, preparing to go home when all of a sudden we hear gunshots coming from school. So there's a squad fighting the boss right now. And one of 2 things can happen. Either one, we can either turn around or go home and, turn around and go home, or, YOLO it, bum rush it and try to get some good YouTube content. So as you can see right now, we obviously opted for option 2. So we're going to try to engage these guys who have way better armor than us, way better coordinated than us, way better, prepared than us. And we're going to try to see whether we can even attempt to get a knock. So I instruct my team, we're going to enter through the 2nd floor window here. And we're going to try to get an ambush shot. So after waiting for them to jump through the window, I enter in last. And we pursue through the hallway quickly. We take up positions here by the wall, and I'm peering. There they are. That's the enemy squad. And so I get 2 or 3 headshots into them, and number 2 and number 3 push right away while I turn around to make sure that no enemies are flanking us from behind, because all of a sudden I hear footsteps. I take a few shots at the enemy, no hits, and return back to the wall to try to prevent against a third party from hitting us. And that's it. Right away, number 2, number 3, props to them. They were able to knock both enemy targets. Right here, you can see that both these enemies are equipped with some kind of, what is this, pink? Is that pink or purple? I literally can't tell. So either pink or purple weapons or purple equipment, whatever. So they have some kind of, I guess that's purple. I don't know. I may be colorblind. So I don't know. Leave a comment in the description. What do you think that's purple or pink? Gramstain reference, right? So anyways, we no time to celebrate because we are engaged by more enemies. So we got enemies camping here at the boss ceiling, which is ironically what I recommend my viewers to camp if you are ever engaged in this situation. So I guess they must watch my videos, right? Number 4 gets knocked right away. And I didn't know this, but I do so now, that it is perfectly possible to get knocked from the pool room, the other building, the pool building, through the window on the roof. So as you can see, I'm about to show you. Give me 1 second. You can see that the enemy is camping in right about there, that window right there. So I take a few shots at him, but he knows what's good for him, so he ducks away. But somehow from that window, he's able to engage Arcane through the window on the ceiling. So that's a warning for you guys, all right? So for all of you guys watching the video, if you guys are camping on the ceiling, be very careful. It is totally possible for an enemy who is in the pool building to engage you and knock you, even if you are hiding next to where the boss is spawning. So right now, C9 gives the suggestion that, we should rush him. Because if we're here in this building, we are at a disadvantage because he has a height advantage. Now, that's a good suggestion, yes. He does have a height advantage, but I don't think rushing him is a good idea because by rushing him, he is dug out behind cover and he has a machine gun and he is behind cover and he has, poison bullets, right? So for the same reason why we shouldn't stay here is even more reason why we shouldn't rush him, because if he has the height advantage, then being outside with no cover and rushing him in the open is even more reason why we can get knocked. However, if we're inside building, even if we get knocked, it takes him time to hop through the windows and find an entry into the school for him to be able to thirst. So that is something I realized in retrospect. So that wasn't something I realized because right now I'm just having fun. There's no stakes here because I'm not going to be losing anything because we all entered this mode with nothing, right? So I made the biggest mistake here. I made the mistake of rushing. I rushed an enemy machine gun with crappy armor. So pro tip for you guys, all right? Don't rush enemy machine guns with no armor. You get knocked. That should be common sense. So you'd expect a player, with basic common sense will be able to know that. But, I guess that was just temporary insanity on my part. So again, don't rush enemy machine guns that are camping behind a window, right? So what to do now? What is C9 going to do now? He's going to try to escape the school. So right now, perhaps not the best way to exit school from this position because by crossing that empty field, he's exposing himself to that window. And so that if that machine gunner had reacted sooner, C9 would have died right there, and we would have just lost much earlier. We would have just lost right away, is what I meant to say. So with no options left, with no equipment, no chance of engaging the enemy, C9 makes a break to the exit, trying to squirm left and right, make a dash for. Come on, you can do it. Ah, it's all right. You tried your best. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much we can do. We went into the match with completely with nothing basically, and we came out of it with, let's see. I came out with almost 28,000. Zen got really lucky and came out of it with more than $100,000. C9 came out of it with 7K, and Arcane unfortunately wasn't able to retain any of the items he looted from the game. So again, if I were you, I would raise that Katya level because Katya, which is the girl inside the command post, if you have her at a high enough level, she will be able to grant you a higher chance of coming back to the lobby with all of your loot. So if you haven't done that already, I highly recommend you to raise your Katya level so you have a higher chance of coming back with loot. So Zen, his Katya level is level 6, mine is level 5, and that's why even though I didn't come back with everything, I came back with at least the MP5K and the level 2 helmet. C9, his Katya level is also level 5, I believe, and that's why he came back with something. And I don't remember what Arcane's Katya level is, but unfortunately, he didn't come back with anything. So not a bad result. We came back with something. So not the worst, but room for improvement. A few takeaways from this video. If you ever get caught in this situation, loot bots, try to play it safe. So don't do what we did. We just did that because we're trying to get some YouTube content. But if you really want to come out of it with profit, play it safe, don't engage enemies, and try to be as quiet as possible. Thanks for watching.
Oh, that's actually a good idea, but you have to